He won't practice today. He'll continue all the meetings and our individual stuff to go through that, and but he'll get the treatment today, and then he'll continue to progress, through today and tomorrow. And I'll update you guys after Friday's practice, and we'll kind of go from there. Additionally, we've activated Jayden McGee, and I'm really excited to see him with the crew. And as you guys remember, he got injured all the way back against the Jets, and he's really put in the work. So I'm very excited to see him back out, doing his thing with the guys. He's really put it in for a young guy. Not easy, to get banged up in your opening series of your first preseason game. So for him to be back in it and put the work in and be right back in the fight with the guys is really exciting.
And with Jayden, what do you need to see before you're able to get him back on the practice field?
He's close to there. The practice field is the next step of that, and so kind of like with any injury, just going through the process. We huddle up every night, with the entire team, but at practice is probably the biggest thing. John, I want to make sure he can be, fully express himself and do all the things that he does, which makes him so unique and special, and so that's what we'll do, but not much different than any other player, kind of going through a Wednesday to Thursday to Friday. So that'll be the key going through the week, that he can be him, fully turned up.
And then you guys released Jayden Daniels yesterday. If you could just the rationale, why'd you do that?
We activated Jayden McGee, so just from a roster spot, and man, what a good teammate, Jamin. So like yesterday, getting a chance to visit with him, definitely left a strong impression. And sometimes there's good that comes after the hard stuff, and he's somebody that will definitely be watching and pulling for. He really worked hard, during his time here.
Just to follow up on Davis, I know that wasn't your initial pick, but obviously it's of interest here. What didn't you ultimately see from him that you were hoping to see? Obviously, he made another position switch, et cetera. What didn't you kind of see that?
Yeah, I think that's the hard part, and why I loved his attitude, come change positions and add value to that, and using his speed to go. So at the end, just, it's always this puzzle you're trying to put together, Ben, and there's always hard decisions, and those are, ones that come up, but they're really hard, and this one was hard.
And to that end, obviously, you guys have made a ton of moves going back to since you and Adam got here, and you made it clear, hey, we're all on the same team. There's no favorite guys.
Right.
We're here versus anything else. That said, the fact that another first-round pick is gone, the second one you guys have moved on from, shows the hole that you guys were in from a initial standpoint, at least. It seems like, I guess, impressive on some level that you guys have gotten where you are. How much of a hole ultimately do you look at that and say, initially, once we got started, wow, we really had to figure out what to do here?
Honestly, I don't think of it in that way. It's just a matter of absolutely, when change happens, things move, and systems change and people change. And so coaching and scouting and players, it's all part of big shifts that go. Oftentimes, if the schemes are very similar, there would probably be less. But no, honestly, just digging into just find edges all over the place. And so when guys move on from here, I'm hopeful wherever they go, they find the right combination, the right things to allow them to do their thing. So that's my hope for anybody that goes on from here,
Just going back to Jayden real quick, when you saw him day after game, even yesterday, I mean, how did he feel coming out of the game and dealing with that injury? Was it any improvement there?
Yeah, he came out strong anyway. He was, knowing him, chomping at the bit to get going. So, yeah, really for him, the attitude's been fantastic, just like you'd expect him to be. So he's doing well.
And I know you were asked this briefly Monday, but, with this game with Caleb Williams on the other side, how much due diligence did you guys do on him, knowing it seemed like there was, fairly strong belief that Chicago was going to take him? So how much due diligence did you guys do on him specifically ahead of the draft?
Yeah, quite a lot, because I think what you don't want to do is just think one way and then go another. And at that point, when most of the work is done, it's well before, the draft process gets underway, when, people decide, hey, this is where I'm going to head to. So quite a bit.
Do you think the opportunity to play Caleb is giving Jayden motivation to want to play this weekend?
No. I think you guys have all been around Jayden, and anybody, anywhere, anytime is really the mindset for him. I think at his core, Sam, that's one of the things I really admire about him, is just his readiness, his wanting to go prove it. So, no, much like we talked about Lamar a few weeks ago, they're not playing against one another. So Like, it's about him and the readiness to get ready and help our team. Ultimately, that's why so many of his teammates really gravitate towards him. They know how much he puts it in and goes for it, and that's why he's, seen as one of the great teammates around here.
What's your impression of Chicago's defense, and what do you guys need to do to take advantage?
Yeah, well, I thought the thing that I really have been impressed by, not just this season, but previously last year as well, is their ability to get the ball. The takeaways they've generated, that comes from speed, knowing what to do, how to go play it. So that part would be a number one, top of the pile for me. And then how they can feature, players into rushers and linebackers. They got, all the components that you're looking for to play great D. So, yeah, I got a lot of respect for the way and the play style of how they play.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Hey, Dave.
Very similar question, actually, to Sam's here. Jaquan Brisker, if he's available or unavailable, how much does that change the Chicago Bears defense from what you've seen?
He's a significant factor. And I can remember, from him coming out of Penn State and just all the background and following him. And the safety position, I think, has a lot of value in today's NFL. Can you be in the post? Can you be in the box? Can you guard slots? And there's all different ways that it goes, into the space. So I think it's turning into a really important position because of how guys are featured. And Brisker certainly has all the skills. He can play down. He can guard man-to-man. He's a good hitter. So, yeah, a lot of respect for him.
And I know we've spoken quite a few times about Sam Cosmi since you've arrived to the team, but just kind of looking through the course of the season, nearing the midway mark of the year, as defenses continue to kind of bring different things to you guys and you continue to evolve your offense as well internally, how has Sam's role kind of impressed you in that process?
Some of the things that I see and some of the things that I hear on the sidelines, I share with the team. And just today in a team meeting, I talked about the communication that I hear from him and Wiley, on the sideline. This comes back up. If this alignment's there, we'll go do this. And so I love that he's thinking ahead because that's when you're ready for the next step and the next thing. So that's what I've seen from him. He was one of the captains last week, and what he said before the game was strong and powerful about, this crew and who we are and who we're wanting to be. And we know we've got a lot to build on, but that's what this time is for, to continue on that. So he's off to a really good start, but I'm seeing this confidence grow, the communication grow, and that's what you'd hope to see. And he's having a blast playing football, which for me as a coach, to sit back and smile, to see these guys really battling for one another and enjoying it. They were coming off the field going for it, gassed, and then sitting on the bench, let's go do it again, and they were ready to go fight. So it was cool.
Throughout the offseason and training camp stuff, you and Adam talked about developing this fast, physical, violent identity. Where do you feel like your team is now, kind of close to the halfway point of developing that?
Yeah, I think we're making progress. I think you kind of talk first piece like a foundation is being built for that, but we're not there yet. There's another level to get to, and that's what I was referring to today about how do we get to the next spot. I had talked to the team about foundation of our brotherhood. There's another level. What about our physicality? There's another level. What about the communication at the line? There's another level. And so those are the things that you want to take the next steps to. I like it in the run game of what I've seen. I like it on the special team side of things. I felt it, when at a line of scrimmage yesterday, in the last game, I really felt that. So it's about finishing, it's about toughness, and we're not where it's going to end up, but we're making strides on that. And that's what this time is for. Like, you don't wait. Like, go. Do it now. Like, there is no waiting. Like, you absolutely go for it again.
And then speaking of the strides, a pair of rookies in McCaffrey and Senate gets a touchdown grab last week. How much more is there growth roles for those guys in the offense, specifically in the passing offense?
Well, I would say Senate, we got to target more, based on the number of touchdowns he gets on targets. So,
It's a pretty good ratio.
So I'd say that's my first thought. Like, Luke has just progressed, and I think there's a lot of teammates for him to learn from. There's Bobby Engram that's here, but guys like OZ that absolutely go like as hard as you possibly can. He's a special teammate, and there's other people that he brings along just by doing that. And Luke's competitive nature kind of feeds into OZ, and they're back returning punts together, and you see him communicate. But I just see the trajectory of him going up, and a lot of that comes from mindset. And I think being aggressive is a mindset, not a speed. And Luke's mindset to be aggressive, to take your shot, to get to the right block, to run the, those are aggressive ways, and he's gaining on that.
How important is having a happy player? You talked about Sam Cosmi and how much he's enjoying. B-Rob has been smiling since the offseason, knowing what's coming and the way that he runs that football for you guys. How important is that to have a guy that's in that mind space?
I think what some of the guys are learning, and I hope they can take it with them forever, like all of us here will be former Commanders one day. We just had alumni weekend, that you can work really, really hard, Chick, and also enjoy it. And like absolutely have other guys to go battle with and do it. And so seeing that connection as teammates, come on, we'll go do it again. We'll go do it again. It's the extra stuff they do in the weight room, the extra meeting room, on the field practice. You see them just spending time together in the locker room when there's no meeting next. They just spending their day, hanging out and doing stuff together. So that's an attitude together that you can work really hard. As hard as you possibly can, but when you have other people to go on the trip with you, it makes it that much more special. And so that's why I saw that connection with Wiley and Cosmi, and I recognized it, because when you're absolutely putting it out, it's much easier to do that with someone else. And so the more of that we have, the better.
And
with Jayden not practicing, Coach, what is he doing behind the scenes to prepare like he is going to start on Sunday?
Yeah, not a lot changes in the preparation piece for him, from the early mornings to the VR work to meetings to treatment and all that. And so the walkthrough portions for everybody, mostly everybody gets involved in some level. So he won't be into the the practice portion today. But we love our process that we go through to get ready, and that's why we kind of have the themes of the day and what we do on specific days. So the early parts of the game plan are in, and tomorrow it's a big red zone day. So we just try to stay into that process. Good news for him, there's a lot of banked reps on a lot of plays. And so for us, there's not, 50 new plays that go in every game. So there's a lot of banked reps on the things that, he's done exceptionally well. Some plays you guys have seen being at practice that other people haven't. And so those are still banked reps, but they may be new to the opponent, but they're not new to us.
As you did your due diligence on Caleb Williams, what type of insight was Cliff Kingsbury able to provide during those months?
It was strong because he had firsthand information to say how effective he was, the things that made him so effective. So he's got a great report about him, from everywhere he'd been, from being here locally to Oklahoma to SC. So it traveled with him, the work ethic, the playmaking ability. So it was pretty consistent, wherever he went. And I probably have a sense he would have done fantastic, just about anywhere.
Is there any update on Brandon Coleman?
Yes, Brandon is working through the concussion protocol. So he's hitting all the right markers. He won't practice today. And then, as we're going through the week, he's hitting all the right steps so far. So we'll just follow the progress as it goes. And we're hopeful that, each of the days, stay like they're supposed to. And then we'll go from there. But I'll look forward to giving you some updates on Friday, with Jayden, and you guys are tracking all that. So we'll give you updates when we can. And until then, let's go kick some ass. See ya.